Hi everybody, Jazz here. This will be my video log entry for the week of September 20th, 2015. Yes, I know it's been a while since I have had a video log release. In fact, it was the Labor Day video. That was my last one. You'll understand why in just a moment. On top of that, I apologize for the delay. I've been trying to kick off my YouTube channel in a more regular fashion as far as having posted videos, fairly frequently. I don't want to spam everyone with a bunch of videos nobody wants to see, but there's a lot of good material that I hope to offer in these that frankly are things of interest to me, things I hope will be of interest to you, and just to keep you informed of how things are going with my works and activities and such. So this past weekend was the Rose State College Annual Writers Conference. It was a lot of fun. It took up the whole weekend. My publicist, Vicki Rose, came down, which was really awesome. It was great to see her. She's a fantastic person. She has just a wonderful spirit and personality. She was a lot of fun and frankly, a lot of help this past weekend. So, shout out to her and thanks to her for spending time with me. We got to know each other really well, and it was the first time we had to really spend a weekend together. So also met some good new writers, both published and aspiring. It was nice to meet new faces, get to know people. So anyway, that took up a great deal of time. From the Labor Day video all the way up to this past weekend, I was preparing content and PowerPoint slides and finalizing notes for 4 presentations that I gave over the weekend. Again, very successful, but a little bit time consuming. Now I'm back on the regular track of my normal routine, which I think will allow me to put out videos a little more frequently, a little more regularly, and so hopefully there won't be big gaps between them. Okay, so let's get started. The Tardis has landed. That's the topic of today's video. You might notice behind me I have my little Tardis, symbolic of the fact that the new Series 9 of Doctor Who kicked off this past Saturday night here in America on BBC America, actually. Series 9 is kind of a term. A series is a term they use in the UK. Here in America, we just refer to it as season. But ever since Doctor Who was rebooted in 2005, they quit calling it season, started calling it series, which again is more in line with UK programming terminology. Okay, so Series 9, Season 9, however you want to refer to it, it's Peter Capaldi's second year portraying the Doctor. The first episode that kicked off was called The Magician's Apprentice. It was really an interesting introduction to following up on a prior storyline. So, spoilers for you if you haven't already seen the episode. Consider yourself forewarned at this point because I'm going to talk about some things from the episode. And if you haven't seen it, you need to probably just, pause this video, go watch the episode, and come back. Okay, so on with The Magician's Apprentice. It was kind of associated with content that's been touched on in an older series or season of Doctor Who. In fact, in 1974, 1975, one of the classic Who's, the Fourth Doctor, portrayed by Tom Baker, expertly portrayed by Tom Baker. He was my first Doctor. You always remember who your first Doctor was. Well, Tom Baker was him. He was amazing actor. But there was an episode from his season of 74, 75. It was called Genesis of the Daleks. And it was a classic story with Daleks. It had the creator of the Daleks, Davros, Davros, I don't know. I've heard it pronounced both ways. Sarah Jane, which was the Doctor's companion at the time, expertly portrayed by Elizabeth Sladen, was joined by a once-in-a-while companion by the name of Harry Sullivan. He was a doctor for the UNIT group. You might remember the United Nations Intelligence Task Force. Well, Harry Sullivan, portrayed by actor Ian Marter, was in the Genesis of the Daleks, and it introduced kind of the early innovation that Davros divined to create what future series would know as the Scourge called the Daleks, the actual creatures, the entity. It was a wonderful Genesis episode, literally Genesis episode, so you got to see how things got started. Well, The Magician's Apprentice from this past weekend touched on Davros and the Daleks, and we got to return to the home of the Daleks, Skaros. Okay, I had a couple of issues with the episode, and maybe if you've seen it, you may have picked it out too. One, it was really kind of a continuity issue. In the arena, when the Doctor comes into the arena standing on top of a main battle tank, and he's playing guitar, which is all very cool. He has his Wayfarer shades on and everything. It was a pretty cool intro, I'm going to have to admit. But it made me wonder, how did the Doctor manage to get a huge multi-ton main battle tank into the TARDIS and then subsequently out again? I mean, you've seen the doors to the TARDIS. They're fairly small. It's about the size of a police call box, basically a telephone booth from England from back in the 50s and 60s. So how did a main battle tank fit through the doors, both to enter it and then to get out? Now, that's just really the first part. The twofold part, the second part essentially, is who was driving the main battle tank? The Doctor didn't have any companions with him, certainly none that knew how to drive a tank, even if he did have companions. But the point is, nobody was driving the tank, at least no one we're aware of. And you can imagine, well, maybe he got one of the military tank drivers that normally drive tanks to come with him. Well, that seems kind of odd. One, they didn't introduce the character if they did. And two, what person, what military member in their right mind is going to just hop in a tank and drive it into a police call box, even if that were possible? I don't know. Maybe that's just me being a little nitpicky, but I thought that was kind of a continuity issue for the episode. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment. Let me know how you would explain him getting a tank into the TARDIS and then subsequently back out of the TARDIS. And again, who do you think was driving the tank while the Doctor was standing on top playing the guitar? Again, a very cool intro. I mean, you got to know the surprise on the face of that medieval fighter was one of complete surprise, seeing this giant metal thing roll in front of him. And of course, he had no idea probably what the barrel of that tank could do to him, but it would be a mess. It would be like swatting a fly with an H-bomb. But the truth is, other than that, the episode was very enjoyable. I thought the whole issue of the hand mines, with the eyeball on the hand and grabbing people and then just pulling them under the mud and everything, that was grisly. That was really bizarre. That wasn't something I even recalled from the Genesis of the Daleks episode. Of course, when we see Davros in The Magician's Apprentice, he's appearing to us as a very, very young person. Looked like he was a teenager, in fact, where when we see him in the past episode, the Tom Baker episode, the Genesis of the Daleks, he's already a withered, damaged individual who is reconciled to being in a mobility chair, and you never really know how he ended up that way. But I think that would be interesting to know, in fact. So leave a comment for me. Let me know how much you like that. And just, tell me what you thought about the episode. I'm really stoked about the new season. I can't wait to see where things go with Clara. And, of course, Missy's back. I love Missy. Amazing actress portraying Missy. And the Master, anytime you can have that character in a Doctor Who story arc, it's going to be nefarious fun. I mean, she, Missy, the evil Time Lord. I mean, great sense of dark humor, wonderful timing, unexpected, just radical behaviors. You never know what to expect from them. So let me know what you think. In the meantime, over the next week or two, I'm going to be finalizing the changes to my new upcoming novel, Bringer Unleashed, which is due out for an early to mid-November 2015 release date. That's going to be hitting the press real soon, so you'll be able to get the exact date. I'll have some pre-order links on my website. My editor, Laura Matheson, wonderful lady, amazingly talented as a editor. She's patiently waiting for my responses on the edits and recommendations she made a couple of weeks ago. So I need to really wrap that up. That's what I'm going to be focused on. Again, if you aren't a subscriber to my newsletter, my Jazz Very Occasional newsletter, which I only send out every so often when there's really something important to know. I don't spam you with stuff every week. So if you don't subscribe to that already, please go to my website. You can go to my blog page or my About Jazz or About Author panel on my website, and in the lower right-hand corner, you'll see a place where you can enter your name and your email address, and you'll receive an email to confirm that you want to subscribe to my newsletter, and then you're ready, and you'll get my very occasional newsletter. My newsletter subscribers are the first to receive information about upcoming release dates, special offers, etc. So you'll want to be a part of that if you aren't already. Okay, well, that's all I've got. Leave me some comments about the new Doctor Who season, where you think it's going, how you like the first episode. And until later, enjoy life, be kind to those around you, and happy reading. Thanks a lot.